It felt like forever waiting for the Premier League season to come back, and just like that, Game Week 1 is over in the blink of an eye, and Game Week 2 is right around the corner. For the second week running, we have a Friday deadline for your FPL teams. In today's video, we're going to check out the results from last week, check out my FPL team from last week, see how I did over there, take a look at the nameless FPL league, link down below to join, it's not too late. And also towards the end of the video, we're going to do predictions for Game Week 2. You want to stay tuned for those because we might be able to hit big this week. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. That was a proper Fabrizio Romano intro right there. Here we go. What is good, people, man? Make sure to like and subscribe if this is your first time here. But without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Today, we're going to start with last week's fixtures. Let's take a look. So very quickly, I'm going to run through the fixtures, say a little bit about each of them. On the screen right now, you can see my predictions, whatever you want to call it, from last week. We did pretty well, 8-2 for the first week of Premier League predictions. That is very nice. We almost hit big on the ACCA, gamble responsibly. But bro, hey, United Arsenal, that should have been a draw. And Brighton Fulham, come on now. Oh wait, I put Chelsea as a win as well. That was a loss. So it was actually 7-3. My bad, my bad. 7-3, still a good record though. Speaking of gambling, gamble responsibly. This is not a gambling show. I just always go back to that. Follow me on Twitter or X. Coach Winters X is my name on Twitter. I put up my official betting plays over there. So if you are a gambler, gamble responsibly as always. But go and follow me over there, bro, because we're 2-0 on the bet so far this season. Hey, anyway, man, let's jump into last week's results then. So the three fixtures I got wrong in the predictions, let's talk about them. The first one being Brighton Fulham. I said Brighton would win that. It ended up being a 1-1 draw, 95th minute. Rodrigo Muniz, I think I might have just made his name up there. He scored an equaliser. That is the most 1-1 game of all time. I'll be real, I should have known that'd be a draw, Brighton Fulham. In fact, I said Fulham were going to win that one, not Brighton. I said Brighton would score first and Fulham would bring it back to about 2-1 or 3-1. It ended up being 1-1. Let's move on. I said Chelsea would beat Palace. That ended up being 0-0. Almost 1-0. Controversial Eze goal ruled out. Say what you will about that. And finally, United Arsenal. It was 1-0 to Arsenal. I said United would win. I didn't. Why am I literally have a script right here showing my results from last week. Why do I keep getting it wrong? I said it would be a draw, and it almost was. It almost was. Man United put on a good showing, and I was actually excited to watch Man United for the first time in like 2 or 3 seasons. They looked good. So let's take a look at my FPL team from last week then. We did end up getting 55 points. Average points was 54, so we're above average week, if you can even say that. We had a stinker though. Jeremy Frimpong, let's start with him. 59 minutes played. At 60 minutes, you get clean sheet points, and at that time, Liverpool had not conceded yet. Frimpong needed to play 1 more minute, and he would have got his clean sheet points. He got subbed off in the 59th slot. What are you doing? That was heartbreaking there, but also heartbreaking was leaving this man on the bench, Mohamed Kudus. Why did we do that? I have 2 accounts on FPL, one for YouTube, one on my personal account, which is where I really try hard and I'm in paid leagues. And I played Kudus in that account, so it was like bittersweet. You know, we left him on the bench on this one. At least he was on the pitch in my paid account, but what was I thinking? We benched him for this man, Ndai, and Everton. They looked bad, I can't lie. They looked bad. We also had Rodon on the bench. 7 points for him. I didn't even notice that. He got a bonus point and a clean sheet. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Right there. 7 points on the bench. Look at that. 17 points on the bench. It's not too bad, though, because Frimpong, if he would have stayed on 1 more minute, would have got us some nice points. Nori got us good points, and so did Cuckoo Rea. Florian Wirtz, no points this week, but expect good things from him throughout the season. Same for Cole Palmer. That's Cole Palmer, bro. He's going to get your points this season. Mateus Cunha. Now, I'm not hitting the panic button on Man United yet. I actually think United look good and Cunha looked lively. We'll see next week who they're playing. If Benjamin Sesko is going to start, Cunha is going to start in behind him in those wide cams where him and Mbuemo played. But I think a banker every week is going to be Cunha shot on target and Mbuemo shot on target, honestly, because those two really look lively in that attack, and they're going to get points this season. João Pedro, after all the hype and all the amazing preseason performances and goals from him, nothing in the first game. Captain Ekitike, which was a great pull from us. He only played 71 minutes, which I'm concerned about going forward in this season. That might be something to monitor. Also, Ollie Watkins, it's a shame, no points. Well, I guess, just the basic 2 points. Villa had a man sent off as well. It was a tough game with Newcastle, 0-0, but looking at Villa's fixtures going forward, again, not hitting the panic button too early, because they've got Brentford away next. That could be a Watkins hat-trick right there, because Brentford suck. Palace at home, Palace are great, but by then, Mark Gahey might have left. Everton away, Everton are good defensively, but liable to concede sometimes. Sunderland, Fulham, Burnley, this should be goals in here for Ollie Watkins, and if it's not, wild card. Erling, let me speak to you, bro. Now, taking a look at our team for next week's fixtures, in goal Sells against Crystal Palace. That was another big one. The Brentford clean sheet wipeout on Nottingham Forest, last minute penalty. That was devastating, almost again, a great week. But I think Sells and Nottingham Forest, they look like a good unit. They should be able to get us some good clean sheet points in this season. Cucurella against West Ham. That should be a clean sheet. West Ham look awful. Cole Palmer and João Pedro are other Chelsea players against West Ham. Go and get us some points, please, boys. 8 Nouri at the back against Tottenham at home. We'll discuss, obviously, the fixtures for predictions later, but I think that's going to be a tough game for Man City. I really do. Newcastle away. Frimpong for Liverpool. With no Isak, I said last week in our predictions, with no Isak, with no number 9 down the middle, Newcastle might struggle to score goals, and we saw that against Villa. They really did struggle. Anthony Gordon, though, is a serious player. Do not get it twisted. He's playing through the middle, and he's only going to get better, honestly, through the middle, as the more he plays there and learns the position. But I'm leaving Frimpong in. The substitution did really scare me in the 59th minute, because Slot said it was a hamstring tweak as well. He felt his hamstring going, so maybe throughout the season we'll see a lot of that from Slot, early subs with the fullbacks, especially with Connor Bradley at right back. He's so solid. He can play a lot of minutes, but I have a controversial opinion about Liverpool, which we'll get to later on in the season. But I think he's building a squad right now to fill in for Mo Salah when he leaves. That's what I think. I think we're going to... In fact, let's just get into it right now real quick. I think Frimpong cannot play 4 at the back. He has to play 5 back. And we're going to switch to a 5 back or 3 centre back look when Salah goes to AFCON. That's my prediction. I think we get Mark Gahey in. He's going to play alongside Van Dijk and Konate. We'll have Frimpong and Kerkez as wing-backs. McAllister, Gravenberch, double pivot in the middle. Florian Wirtz in behind Isak and Ekitike. That's how we're going to play once Salah goes to AFCON. And it's going to be beautiful. Let's talk about the midfield then. Florian Wirtz. I've got him as vice-captain right now and Ekitike as captain. I'll probably change that in a minute. But I think, Newcastle away is a tough game. It's a tough place to go. But definitely think Newcastle are liable to concede. I'm actually going to give the captain's armband this week, I think, to Cole Palmer. Let's swap that for now. That's what I'm feeling, because West Ham suck, but so do Brentford. But both of those games are away. Usually I captain the home player, but both of our captain options are away. That's pretty much our whole team's away. Wait, what the hell? Our whole team is away this week. Who's playing at home then? No one. We've got Cunha in the midfield still. He's playing Fulham away. That should be goals galore for Man United, I can't lie. After their performance against Arsenal, United, they need this for their season. It's the second game, but they need this. They need 3 points at the Cottage. Man United, go and tear them up. This screams goals for United. It has to. It has to be at least like a 3-4 goals scored in this game. That's a bit harsh. Maybe 3, maybe 3-1 or 3-0 would be a great result for United. And up front, I've already mentioned Ollie Watkins should score this week. Ekitike, I love him. This guy's sensational. João Pedro, now's your time to score. On the bench, we do have Rodon and Estev, which I'm glad we found out that these guys play. They're both 4 million each. Also, Dubravka played. He's 4 million. So solid bench options there. And we've got Cutters on the bench simply because City away is a tough game. But Ndai, he might be getting took out. We've got one free transfer this week and I don't really know what to do with it. The problem with FPL, right, is the bandwagons. As soon as somebody does good, price changes immediately. It ruins your whole plans. You can see we have 0 in the budget. So let's go to the strikers. Chris Wood looked amazing. Big Wood, 2 goals. Even if I wanted to bring in Chris Wood, let's say, okay, João Pedro didn't score. Let's take him out. Let's put in Chris Wood. We can't, because we can't afford that. And that's the problem with FPL and these immediate first few game weeks. Whoever scores big points in these first few game weeks is going to move in price, and it ruins your whole plan for your team. On my paid account, I brought in this man straight away because I knew he was going to go up in price. Goal and assist for him and a pass to an assist, which you don't get points for in FPL. But just from watching the game, this guy, he went completely under my radar, I can't lie, especially at 5.5 million. But I think this guy is going to be the new Morgan Rogers. Last year, Morgan Rogers was 5 million in the game, so I put him in my team and stuck with him for the whole entire game. Did not take him out for the whole season. I think Rangers, I never know how to pronounce his name. I think this guy is going to be that guy that I put in my team and just leave there. Right now, we've missed the price change on this account, though. So I think the option would be Endai out, Rangers in. I mean, that's what even the auto pick is saying to do. However, I'm considering stacking my free transfer for this week on this account because I like the look of our team on paper. Endai is the only player that I'm like, come on, bro. I think Grealish should start next game for Everton, though. And maybe that gives Endai options to go and score or get an assist. But the rest of the team looks solid. I'm not pulling the trigger on no defensive transfers. I think our defense is solid. The attackers, Watkins, you've got some time to shine. João Pedro, now's your week to go up in price, bro. Because even look at Chelsea's fixtures. West Ham stink. Fulham suck. Brentford suck. Man United probably going to concede against Chelsea. Brighton, not good. João Pedro, you've got to score in at least 3 of those games I've just mentioned. So that's what I'm thinking for the transfers so far. Obviously, there's still a day or 2 left before the deadline as I'm recording this. So maybe it's a last-minute transfer and die out. You can see there, Semenyo went up in price. That was a shame because he was definitely someone on my radar at the start of the season. Another man I'm considering bringing into the team, if you watched any of my FPL videos earlier on in the pre-season drafts, I always mentioned this guy, Elliot Anderson. This guy's a baller. And the reason I brought him up mainly was for his defensive contributions this year. If midfielders get 12 defensive contributions, they get an extra 2 points. Elliot Anderson just missed out, but he was playing Brentford, who aren't even that good. So to get that many defensive contributions against a team that's not even that good, that is good. So it means when he plays a team who's probably going to be a bit more threatening going forward, like Arsenal week 4, Anderson's probably going to get you points there. And he got an assist on game week 1 to top it off. So maybe even taking out Endai or Kudus for... Definitely not Kudus, actually, but Endai for Anderson. I like that. I want to quickly shout out to everyone who's joined the Nameless FPL League. I am the leader and the host of this league, and I'm currently 41st in it. That's not good enough. Shout out to this guy at the top. Tawia, or apologies for the pronunciation, Newman. Let's just call him Newman because that's his team's name as well. He used triple captain game week 1. Freak. But what a play. He used it on Haaland. 2 goals, 3 bonus points. What a play. Now, everyone talks about keeping your triple captain for double game weeks, things like that. But he used it off the bat. And fair play, mate. He also had Chris Wood in there. Salah and Haaland, they said it couldn't be done. They said a Salah-Haaland draft could not be done, but he still somehow got 6 points from Salah. He got an assist. Wow. I do not like this pick, though. I do not like that pick. 5 million for Salah. I don't like that, but still fair play. Adingra, who I did highlight in my videos, signing from Brighton to Sunderland. Great player. He got an assist and a clean sheet point against West Ham. 6 for him. He's got Palmer too! Wait. Yo. Nah, this guy's cheating, bro. This guy's got extra budget. Newman, if you're watching this video, bro, how have you done that, lad? Haaland, Salah, and Palmer. Are you kidding me? 90 points. That's crazy. Clean sheet for Mark Gahey as well. 9 points for Vicario in goal. That's insane. Alex Moreno didn't play, so that's a stinker at defense. How much is he? 4 million. But there's plenty of other 4 million options that you can put in there, mate. We've just showed you Rodon and Estev from Burnley. I mean, you've already got 2 Burnley players, so that might not work. But still, lad, what a team, mate. Fair play. The fact that he's crafted that, I mean, in the long run, I don't think that that's not going to be too good because I don't think Salah and Adingra in the long run are going to be great options. But lad, I'm sorry, Wood, Pedro, Haaland, Palmer, Salah, I don't care what you say, that's great. And the fact that he was 12,000th in the world, there's about 6 million people, 10 million people that play this game, 10.5 mil. Jesus Christ, lad. But yeah, he's put me to shame. I'm 4 millionth in the world after game week 1. Yeah, fair play, lad. If you are watching this video, shout out to Newman. But with that Friday deadline coming up, let's make our predictions for the Game Week 2 fixtures. Starting off with the Friday game, 8 o'clock, Chelsea away to West Ham. Chelsea, go and batter them. Look what Sunderland, newly promoted Sunderland. Now, to be fair, I said last week that Sunderland would win that game because I'm a prophet. But, lad, this one, Chelsea, after a 0-0 in the first game of the season, you have to go and put 3 or 4 past West Ham. It's at the London Stadium. It might be tough for you, but I do not care. You are Club World Cup champions. Cole Palmer, do not be childish. Go and score for me, bro. You're going to be my captain this week in FPL. Go and score, lad. 12:30 on Saturday then. Probably my most anticipated game of the week. It's going to be Man City at home against Spurs. Now, I'm considering dropping an episode of the Burn Down on this game. I've been very busy this week, so I've not been able to really prep many videos. And the Burn Down, if you haven't seen episode 1 of the Burn Down, I did it last week for Liverpool against Bournemouth. Those videos do take a while to put together, so I don't know if I'll have time, but I have a lot of stuff to say about City to Spurs. I don't know if I'll be able to make that individual video, but this is going to be such a good game to watch for the neutral. I'm expecting goals. I'm expecting Kudus to be one of the star players here. Man City, I watched them last week against Wolves. They're adopting a very high line, and they're trying to force offside trap. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that in every game or if that was just because they were playing Wolves and they knew that there was no one who could beat them for pace, really, and behind. But coming up against Spurs, with Kudus on the wing, even Brennan Johnson's quite fast still. If you try and play offside trap and get caught, Man City could be in danger. Man City did look great against Wolves. You know, they were clicking. Haaland with the 2 goals. That Reinders in the midfield had a free reins of the entire game. It felt like he was dictating the tempo. He looked great. But I just think City are liable to concede here. I've said liable to concede about 5 times in this video. Take a shot every time you hear me say that. But the point I'm getting to, I'm going with Tottenham to win. That's controversial. It's against the grain. But it's what we do over here, bro. I'm going Tottenham to win. And I'm going Mohamed Kudus anytime goal or assist. Watching City against Wolves last week, yeah, it was 3-0 on paper, but Wolves had some good opportunities. And I still think City haven't fully figured out what they're trying to do. The Donnarumma purchase makes 0 sense to me. Why would you bring in James Trafford, who's going to be your goalkeeper of the future, to then double back on that and get a completely different type of goalkeeper in Donnarumma who can't play with his feet? And Pep loves playing with feet. I don't know about that in a private sense, but I'm talking players who can play with feet. Donnarumma can't, and he's not even that good. Yeah, he had a good Champions League, but honestly, Donnarumma's not that good, bro. That transfer makes 0 sense to me, I can't lie. And I love an underdog, so let me go with Tottenham to win. Moving into the 3 o'clock games, these all sound like 3 o'clock games as well. Bournemouth against Wolves. Justin Kluivert, I'm not too sure on his status at the minute, but I think Bournemouth can get a job done against Wolves. They looked good against Liverpool last week, my team. And I think Wolves are going down, I can't lie. I think Wolves and Burnley and Brentford, very scary times for you. I'm going Bournemouth to win. Moving on, we've got Brentford at home against Aston Villa. I'm going Villa to win. No games. Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, go and have a day because you need to. Brentford do not look good. They look like they are going down with the Burnley. We've got Burnley against Sunderland as the next game of the 3 o'clockers. That is such a 3 o'clock kickoff. My mind's saying Sunderland. My mind is telling me Sunderland will win, especially after the last game. But my heart's telling me Burnley. Something about Burnley. It's telling me to go Burnley for the win. But I'm going to pick Sunderland or draw. It screams 0-0. 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday then, the late kickoff. Arsenal at home to Leeds. Arsenal, you did not look convincing in the Man United game. You really didn't. You were a few dodgy referee calls away from losing the game or tying it. You're playing newly promoted Leeds, who just got a big win last week against Everton. Arsenal, you need to go and show Leeds that you are the team. You're supposed to be competing for the title this year. If you perform like you did against Man United all season, you're not going to win the league. You need to be better. Gyökeres, this is his time to announce his arrival against a championship club. Go and do it. Arsenal to win. Moving on to the Sunday games. Crystal Palace at home to Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace are a solid team, and I underestimate them every time I see them. You know, even in FPL, seeing like the CRY abbreviation I'm always willing to back players against that team abbreviation. But this time round, I'm going Forest to win. I just watched Forest last week, and honestly, they'd looked... I know it was against Brentford, and Brentford suck. But lad, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, they looked a different class. And with Chris Wood laying the wood on whoever wants to come near him, and the fact this is the Sunday game, so we might have a bit more development about Eze to Tottenham and Mark Gahey to Liverpool. Crystal Palace could be in shambles without two of their best players. And I think it's a day for Big Wood to put his wood on the table and say, I am Chris, and Forest to win. Everton Brighton on the Sunday. You know what? Me mind says Brighton are going to win this, but for the sake of all my Everton fan friends, I'm picking Everton to win. It's at the new stadium. They're going to need the stadium to play for them at this rate because the defence looked shaky with all this, you know, a centre-back playing right-back, a centre-mid, a right-footed centre-mid playing left-back or something they had last week. Whatever, lad. Just Everton go and win, bro. Jack Grealish has got to start. Ndai, go and score for me. You're in the FPL team for now. Next up, we've got Fulham against Man United. I've already discussed this a little bit with Cunha in my FPL team, but I think this could be a big day for Man United to score 3 or 4 and maybe concede 1 or 2. Because Fulham aren't no joke. Fulham will turn up, especially at home. But Man United, you have to win this. You have to win this game. This is a must-win game for Man United. It's game week 2. But this right here, for me personally, is a must-win game for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. I'm picking United to win. Don't let me down. And finally, Monday Night Football, Newcastle at home against Liverpool. This could have been a sensational game week 2 matchup if they would have sold Isak a few weeks ago and he would have been in our team, returning to St. James's Park and shushing the entire crowd, waving to the heavens for where the away fans sit in St. James's Park. They're all the way up in the sky, bro. You know what I mean? They start celebrating a goal. God can hear them. God has to shout down like, yo, chill, lad. I'm trying to watch something up here. You know what I mean? You're being too loud. That's how high up the away fans sit in St. James's Park. And I'm a Liverpool fan. So if you think for any of these 38 game week predictions I'm ever going to say Liverpool are going to lose, you must be having a giggle. I'm going Liverpool to win. Fuck you, Newcastle. I didn't even mean that. I love Newcastle fans. They've been nothing but like nice to me in my time dealing with Newcastle fans. But Newcastle, for this one night only, it's up. Yeah, it's me versus you, and we're going to win. But Anthony Gordon could cause problems. Harvey Barnes could cause problems. Elanga, electrifying, could cause problems. But, yeah, I'm going Liverpool to win. That's my Game Week 2 predictions. How much money are we going to win this week? Let me know in the comments below. How many points is my FPL team going to get this week? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to say 42. That's my prediction for my team this week. If you have enjoyed this video, though, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified every time we drop one of these videos. Also, check out the Burn Down maybe episode coming soon. I do not know. We'll have to wait and see how much time I have. But make sure to join the FPL League. Link down below. All of that jazz. YouTube outro. Insert generic YouTube outro here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Dreamers Country. Let's ride. Take it easy, people, man.